Here's my little friend the squirrel. Hangs on the screen outside. Missy's busy watching her. Life in the big city. I guess he's gone now.
The province reported 57 new cases.
Okay, guys. Let's take a couple of shots here. It's been a while since we've done any movies. Okay, a couple of hits, that's enough. You know, guys, there's a whole bunch of things going on. Listen, one of the things that I notice is people do a pre-aim, and I've done it lots, but pre-aim doesn't mean anything. When you carefully take that arrow and you put it up there and you get it all lined up, by the time you draw back here, it's all moved. Pre-aim doesn't really matter. What really does matter is just getting it back here. Get it back here. That's where the aim comes from. That's when you relax your fingers and the arrow points at the target. So we don't have to worry too much about these wonderful pre-aims. Hoity-toity. Just get it back there. That's where the aim takes place. Okay, anyhow, you do that, and well, I have a piece of foam up here. People wreck the place, but anyhow, there's our hits. Okay, back in a minute. Okay, guys. Can't wait for Christmas. Back to being a Santa Claus. So this is too damned hot for anything. Now listen, don't be too careful when you draw. The pre-aim isn't that important. All the aim is done from the anchor. Boulders in my pocket. Okay. Again, listen. This is where the aim is done. Okay? This is where it's done. When you get it back there and it's resting against the bow, I always find that my arrow is slightly over there, and if I relax my fingers, it will go on. If you have it, you put it on the center line and it's on when you get back here, then it's just a matter of relaxing the arm to your wrist, relaxing the back of the hand, relaxing the fingers until the weight goes onto the fingertips. And once it's on the fingertips, you exchange the pressure from your fingers to your front hand. So the pressure's on my back fingers, and now I increase the pressure forward. Okay? Anyhow, I'm repeating myself. I hope it helps. And don't be real careful with the draw. The pre-aim isn't that important, and you'll get your hits. Okay? Back in a minute. Guys, this bow is so much different to shoot than the English longbow with this shell. Okay guys, I guess you can see okay. This bow, because it's one eighth of an inch from center shot, so there is a little bit of wood there, and the arrow comes right back. You can see that, see how it curves here? There's a little slight radius here. So that means that the tip could come right back, right like that, okay? And it's not touching yet. So I found that with an English longbow, I have to put the target over here. The arrow is way over there, and I'm aiming off my knuckle. But with this bow, I can actually aim the arrow right at the target. It's quite different. So when they invented the fiberglass in 1933, and Uncle Howard Hill, got hold of the fiberglass and started making these bows, did a really good job. Really good job. So I like the bow quite a bit. And it shoots good, it shoots fine. No problem. Okay? Yeah. It's a real good shooting bow. And again, the English longbow, I have to shoot off my knuckle. This bow, I can aim right at it. Back in a minute. Okay, guys. A couple of shots. Okay. I was probably doing that too fast for you to see anything. But once again, it's this right hand that does all the controlling. And there's two parts to your power train. There's from your hand to this string, and there's from your hand to this elbow. Two parts. And where the hand meets the string, where the two couple, imagine it almost like a train, It couples like that. But from the hand to the string, and then from here to the elbow, has to be completely relaxed. And this part, this hand, transfers the pressure forward. First of all, this guy draws. He's got all the pressure, and he gets back. Now he's all twisted and knotted because he's gone back. Now it starts to relax from the elbow down to the wrist, to the back of the hand, to the fingers, to the fingertips. Now that it's relaxed right to the fingertips, now the left takes over, and he just gently presses forward, and you get boink. Anyhow, I sure do repeat myself, don't I? And, if you do that, you'll get some hits. Okay, guys. Back in a minute. Okay, now. Got a couple of targets here just for a little variety. Don't dig that anchor in. It's just touching, just floating between the pressure from my elbow to my hand. I find doing that shoots straighter than digging it in, pressing hard, or not enough. The anchor is where we aim from. Sure enough, dead center and a bit high. That got him. That's the principle that Howard said, you know, anybody can miss the first shot, but as soon as I shot over his head a little tiny bit, I just lowered my gap and I got him. But anyhow, this is how we shoot. This right hand is the thing that controls that arrow more than the left hand, more than your knee, more than squinting or having both eyes. This is the guy that will let you know where that arrow is going to point. And if you can release gently so that you're not really dragging that arrow off to the right, and just pushing it out, you'll do pretty good. And then, you know, you can go and fool around and you can sort of go, well, I got that guy, and I got that guy, and I got that guy, and that guy took 2 tries. Anyhow, I'll be back in a minute, boys. Okay, guys. I've been watching some world archery lately. They'll have it all mixed up, you know, longbows, recurves, compound, string walking, split finger. So, anyhow, there's a lot of different styles. Then there's that style. I hardly know what to say. Do what you want. Okay. You know, I'll repeat it over and over and over again about this right hand. How that pressure goes from this hand to the string into this hand, hangs from the elbow. Inside your hand is just like that. It's very important. It really is where the direction is made. If you can remember that and practice it. I'm sure repeating it a lot, eh? I must think it's important. But you know, you'll get your hits. And that's important. Back in a minute. Okay guys, so let's see here. Just take a couple of shots. You really have to step into it a little bit, you know, so that you're off balance. That way you lean automatically. Okay guys, anyhow, again, this release is really important. Now, when I used to shoot my English longbow, if I drew back here, my anchor was floating. It wasn't touching anything. These days, I've brought my anchor so that my middle finger is just touching right where my jaw curves, right where your lower back tooth would be, just there. But what I have found is if the pressure is not relaxed from the front hand to the right hand to the elbow, if you alter the power line by pressing in or not touching, you know, if I touch my beard and then I go in, you can see that anchor can change that much. So anyhow, it's just a touch because I want the pressure to be floating in my arms. So it's just a touch, it's not a movement, it's not a press. And if you just do that and allow it to float, it's touching, so maybe it's not floating. But if you allow it to float, very gentle, that pressure goes straight. Okay? So that's how I do it anyhow. And of course, if you do stuff like that, you'll get some hits. Oh, wait a minute. It was the wrong target, wasn't it? I'm pointing at the wrong target. Isn't that amazing? Can't see through the lens. But anyhow, there's the hits. The real hits. Okay. Talk to you later. Have fun. Okay, guys. Shadows are starting to get long. Just a little practice. Okay. I think maybe that's enough for today, you know. Anyhow, take a big step. Not like a sideways target archer, but a big step so that you automatically lean forward. It's all about your right hand. This anchor, don't push it or not touch it, just let it be part of the power line from your hand to your elbow. Just let it float there. Floating doesn't mean don't touch. It just means that you've checked that spot, but your back arm is completely relaxed and just hanging in behind the front one. Okay? Shorter arrows. A short arrow is better than a long arrow. That's what I'm starting to find. And anyhow, if you do those kinds of things, you'll get some hits. There's our last shots for the day. Anyhow, you guys have fun. Take care. Talk to you later. Bye now.